You're listening to the Main Event Moto podcast.
What's up, Motoheads? This is episode 154 of Main Event Moto. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors that make this happen. Fly Racing, Mika Metal, Scott USA, and the Prospect Goggle. Guts Racing, No Toil, All American Chevy of Killeen, Screen Printing Done, Motorsport.com, EMT Racing, DRS Suspension with Race Tech. Thank you guys so much. And Robbie, I'm sorry. I'll get that suspension there soon. I apologize. Again, I'm slacking. I'm sorry. Viral Moto, Old Me Creations, and Law Tigers. Thank you guys so much. This is going to be a different show. I warned you guys a couple weeks ago, so don't act surprised. But I'm not coming home this Sunday after the races. I won't be back until Wednesday. So decided to do something a little bit different this week and do a preview type show. 2 years ago, we used to do the night before show, so that's what this will be, but it'll be a better version of that. I'm going to head over to Press Day and try to get one of these 250 riders to do an interview on Track Walk. We usually get about a half hour with them, but the real media guys will be trying to pull them. I'm going to try to grab one myself and maybe get a word or two from one of them. Also got Jason Wygant coming on. We're going to preview the 250 East Championship and get you guys all ready for the race. And of course, most of you will listen to this after the race, so I apologize. So we might sound like a bunch of idiots, or we might be dead on. I don't know. But I do want to give a huge shout out to Law Tigers. They're with us for 2020. We don't have their commercial done just yet, but Joe's working on it. The problem is Joe is still dying of the coronavirus. He's under quarantine. I'm joking, but not really. He doesn't have coronavirus, but he does have the flu, and he is still sick and in bed. So think about Joe. Pray for Joe. We need Joe, because otherwise I'm producing the show, and you guys know how garbage that is. And then Old Me Creations. These guys are creating some Main Event Moto graphics. They should be coming out. Give it a week or two, and we'll have those for you guys, so you can get some custom Main Event Moto graphics with that 6 skull on your shroud. You'll pull all the chicks. You know what's up. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be a fun show. For me, anyways. 250 East, I'm excited about it. Obviously, the 450 class and the 250 West have been great all year. I don't expect it to change. But the 250 East is going to be wild. And I've got a chance to see them right now, Ride Press. We're about 20 minutes away from that. And I get a chance to see these guys for the first time. And I'm just excited to see everybody on their new rides. RJ's on a new ride, RJ Hampshire, Jordan Smith, Shane McElrath. You got Jeremy Martin back. I haven't seen him race a real Supercross in 2 years. And, of course, this class is wild. Josh Hill, I saw him getting ready for press, so I know he's racing. It's one of those things, would believe it when you see it, but he's here. And, yeah, all the rookies. A lot of rookies on the East Coast, so it should be fun. And I'm going to head over there right now and find a rider, see who's willing to talk. So enjoy the show. And, again, we'll be back next week with a regular show. After Arlington, I'll be back in studio, and we'll be back on our regular schedule. So thanks again, guys, and enjoy the show.
Main Event Moto.
There's a reason I run DRS suspension and Race Tech hard parts with Mika Metal's chains, bars, and sprockets on Evans 65. First off, DRS suspension settings work everywhere. I haven't changed a clicker since I put them on. Maybe it's the internals from Race Tech that give it that extra something.
American-made products with a 100% guarantee. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, the DRS Race Tech combo works for me. And what can I say about Mika?
First off, they've been with us since the beginning.
The quality of their bars is top of the line, and Mika is the only chain and sprocket combo I run. Motoheads, get with the program. It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals.
Say it again.
It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals. Is that good, Joe?
Yeah.
I love when NorCal companies take the world by storm. Guts Racing seat covers and no-toil filters are made right here at home, but their products travel the country and world on some of the baddest dudes' bikes in pro racing.
Who runs Guts?
Too many factory teams to list, Joe.
Who runs No Toil?
Well, it's the only filter Chad Reed will run. Guts and No Toil make only the best. So visit gutsracing.com and notoil.com and step up your game, Motoheads.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
All right, so you don't often get to walk the track with a Supercross superstar legend. What other name can I give you, Shane?
Moody.
Moody.
That's my middle name.
On the birth certificate, too?
Yep.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
For real?
Yeah, that's why people call me Moody.
That's surprising, because I always thought you were a pretty nice guy, and then when I heard Moody, I thought it must be a joke because you're a nice guy, but it's legit, Moody.
Yep. My dad's dad His name was Moody Battle.
For real?
Yep.
Well, that's the sickest name of all time.
I was almost Battle Max because my dad's name is Max.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that I wasn't Battle
Just
Max.
Shane?
But yeah, just Shane. Shane Moody.
How we doing, bro?
Yeah.
You ready for some East Coast?
I'm ready.
That's good.
Ready.
I heard rumors. You've been going pretty good at the old test track.
We've been working hard. I mean, it's been a good step for us, really, in every area of our lives. We took a step of faith going to this team, and they also took a step of faith, and it was a hard decision to make, but we're really glad we're here.
More than just racing too, just life, like this, a little bit of a life reset.
Oh yeah, it taught us a lot about ourselves, about who we want to be, where we're going. Just it's much bigger than just racing dirt bikes.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that everybody gets caught up in the day-to-day grind. You don't realize that a decision like that changes everything, the way you look at things. And even for you, East Coast, it's like completely different. This is a full reset.
Yeah. No, we seriously changed everything. We changed where we live, we changed our team, we changed the bike, trainer, nutrition.
Hold on, I gotta stop you and make a hair joke.
Yeah.
Are you jealous of Josh Hill? Look at him. Look at that hair.
No, that'd get annoying.
You wouldn't want that?
Yeah, no, I've had long hair when I was younger.
Did you? Yeah,
and
but you didn't. Look at the curls. Look at the locks on that guy.
Yeah, no, it always felt good when I would just put a 2-guard on it and buzz it and then put it in my helmet. I'm like, I feel so much air.
You feel lighter.
Yeah.
Somehow magically you didn't lose really any weight, but you just feel little and light. But he's got, I mean, that's the longest I've seen it. But and then look at that guy. Look at JH.
Yeah, he's got it going on.
He's polishing that sucker. East Coast, though, I mean, different, because in the past few years, it's been, the 5 rounds in the beginning. You've been used to that routine.
Yep.
Now you've had to wait around, and now you do this big block. It's just a completely different feel. Are you so far happy with it? Or has it been hard to watch those first 6?
I'm really happy with it. I've raced East Coast once, and it was because I was hurt. So
was that early though, right?
That was in 2016.
Was that second year or third year?
Third year.
Okay, yeah.
And so it was really nice just getting to go to the race and hang out and then go back to the test track during the week and work on things that I've seen the other racers do.
Right.
And so, with East Coast, originally I asked to race West, and they were like, yeah, that's fine. But Dylan at the time was thinking about racing East, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll
swap you two.
I'll try to race
Justin
West.
Cooper told me that they wanted to keep you two apart just because of where you're at in your careers. It was the best, Nichols and Justin, they got more time. They didn't want you two going for it because they felt like you two were maybe the best to get it done on both sides.
Yeah, it was Yamaha's call for that.
Will Hahn. Will Hahn has no power whatsoever.
I went into the shop one day. It was probably mid-November, I guess, and I just went in. I really had it on my heart a lot, and I went and told the guys, like, listen, I came here to be out of my comfort zone and to be pushed. And I was like, honestly, I don't care what I race. I'll race whatever you guys want me to do. I feel like I can do good either one, and I'm going to be ready for either one. So I'm here.
How's that bike been? Because you've been, I know they're good, obviously. We all know. But you also spent a lot of time on a steel frame, years and years and years, and then you go to a bike that has a completely different feel.
Yeah.
Jacob Hayes even told me it's pretty night and day from his Yamaha to his Husky. You went the other way. Was there a transition period where I was like, ooh, this thing's a little goofy at first? Or was it one of those things where you get on sometimes you find your bike, you get on, you go, oh my God, what? This is perfect for me.
I found it. It was a quarter of the lap in, right, my first day on the bike, October 1st. I'm like, wow, this is what I've been looking for.
Nice.
Like just the way that the bike rides, like the way it sits. As soon as I was on the track, I noticed the air forks. Like, I wasn't even going fast enough to feel anything else yet, but it was just the hold up of the air forks is something that I've been looking for.
Wow, okay.
And so it's like people ask me, dude, what's the biggest thing? And to me, there's 3 big changes, and I don't know which one, if any of them, can take all the credit. It's the aluminum frame, the air fork, and then the way that the motor is reversed and sits in the frame.
It does feel different, right?
Isn't forward, And so for me, I think, it took me a while at first just to find like that that line of what's too much for the frame.
Right.
Like in certain situations, it reacts different, and so it took a couple close calls for me to realize, like, okay, I need to be careful there, but over here I can.
Oh, so like learning where the bike reacts. Like sometimes it might be a rhythm or a whoop or a flat straightaway. You go, oh, this bike, this is the characteristic for this part.
Yeah.
So that's obviously part of the transition. But now you've had how many million laps so far? I mean,
I've had a lot. Yeah.
You guys are spinning. How about watching the West? Have you? I know you're a fan because I know you watch me on Race Day Live. I know.
I do.
Because you text me during it and get mad at things. But have you been a fan for 6 weeks?
Oh yeah.
Just loving it. I mean, I think it's been good, right?
It's been like the mini vacation on the weekends. Well, to the races that I could go to.
Right.
I wasn't about to drive to Phoenix this year. I've done that in the past just for fun. I've drove to Oakland for fun. I wasn't doing that again. So
stay home.
Watching it. So St. Louis, Glendale, and Oakland, all from the couch at home. And both Anaheims and the San Diego, we were there, and I was loving it.
It's good. Dylan's been fun. Poor guy's getting booed out of these stadiums, man.
I feel bad,
Because, I mean, I think everybody saw what happened as a dramatic mistake.
Yep.
But you know him now because you spent some time with him. The guy's not trying to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Dude, he just wants to win, and maybe he'll take chances other guys won't, but the boos they ain't going nowhere. I'm wondering if the break, people will forget, because even in Glendale is a little mellower, Oakland, whatever, but San Diego, they got into him again.
Dude, every time I hear that, it makes me want to go fight every person that boos them. Dude, it's really disheartening.
Well, okay, well, explain it then from a rider's point of view.
I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Like, I can put myself in Christian's shoes, and I'm pissed off, but I can also put myself in Dylan's shoes and be like, shoot, I screwed up. I shouldn't have done that. And it's like, dude, we hold ourselves accountable, like, and so knowing that I screwed up, it's not just going to be something I brush off, and especially when that keeps coming up, it's like it doesn't let you forget and move on. It's like, dude, I'm trying to deal with this in the best way I know how, and people just Well, that's
another thing that was the hard part with that was that he had a lot to lose by that happening. I mean, his bike breaks, the championship's over, so that's why I try to tell people, yes, it was a bad decision. He made it in the air, and everyone's like, he slid into him. The slide was because I think he realized, oops, Christian, I'm not there. But whatever. I just think it's funny, and then you as a teammate being there watching it, you're watching your teammate who obviously you want him and Justin Cooper to do well, and then you hear him getting lit up. You're probably just like, I get. For me, I understand the frustration, but then it's like, just move on. You know, I mean, that's just my thought.
I mean, as the race is going on, it's like, obviously I'm cheering for Justin and Dylan. Like, they're my teammates, and but out there I have other guys that I know pretty well, and it's like I check in with, and I'm like, all right, let's go, Dylan. And as soon as that happened, I'm like, shoot, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and you knew there was going to be backlash. I knew too. When it happened, I went, well, this is going to be something we talked about for a while.
When they booed him at Anaheim, like, my heart sank. I'm like, you people are stupid. Like,
it was. You were there that one.
Oh yeah.
How loud was that?
It
rocked.
I got up. Joy and I got up and left. Like, we went back to the pits. Didn't even watch the 450 because I was like, honestly, I felt like I just need to go give Dylan a hug. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. When he walked up to me, I was like, dude, I got to give you a hug. He's like, are you sure you want to hug me? You don't want to fight me? I'm like, no.
You know what he said, though? He said that the industry has been supportive. That even though Christian and Paige were like inside everything, understands. But I believe that a lot of those boos are coming from people that are, I think they're smiling when they're doing it. I think they're just like, boo,
But dude, to like try to put myself in Dylan's shoes when he's trying to talk on the podium, like, dude, you hear the crowd. And it's like,
he's struggling to get the sentences the way he wants to anyway, and then he's got to hear that.
And so it was really disheartening.
What are you guys talking about? Is he lying to you again?
No. I'm just finally getting
to your mouth is fucking moving.
I'm getting to express my feelings about how I feel towards the fans.
Ricky's been booing Dylan from the booth the whole time.
Oh yeah, right. See, this is why I don't want to talk to you.
He's a media guy.
I'm not a media guy. Come on now.
John?
What's up, Ricky? I'm just recording for the podcast because we're doing a little night before kind of preview-ish thingy. So, what do you think about these whoops, guys? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.
What's up, Jordan? How are you?
Well,
Hey,
they're,
Jordan.
You hanging in
they're a
there?
little soft. I think. I just really, by the end of practice, I think they're just going to be little skippers.
Hey, are you gonna stay West Coast through all this and just travel back and forth?
Yep. My contract actually says I have to reside in Southern California.
Really? And that's fine with you anyway? I mean, you live there, so it's one thing. But I know a lot of the 450 guys have been telling me, oh, I can't wait to get back to Florida. I can't wait to get out of here. And then I'm curious with your team, because even in the outdoor last year, the Star guys stayed West Coast.
Yeah.
Is that, why do they want that? Is that like, it's not an accountability thing, is it? Really?
It's
because you're so wild and they just worry about you getting alone?
I think I was actually the first one that they put that in their contracts.
Really?
But yeah, like I said, it all goes back to where we were in our faith, where we were physically, mentally, and it's like, well, my contract says I must reside there, so
there must be a reason why that's the right thing for you.
And now working with everybody and like directly with the team, everybody's there, everybody's working together.
Resources,
and
right?
It's that's what I already told, because originally it's like I thought about, hey, we have our house in Florida. If you guys would like to go back there, we can
all go.
Yeah. And so, but now it's like working with everybody and having everybody there together. I just, like Joy and I have talked about it, it's like, dude, I really don't care to go back to Florida if that would mean me going by myself. It's like, I'm going to stay wherever the team is. I'm going to continue working with everybody.
Yeah.
Because you can't replicate that anywhere. Right. And yeah, the weather for training may be a little better here, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse to go be comfortable and ride by myself.
Right. You mentioned that in the beginning. You want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've heard Jeremy Martin say the same thing. Like, what is your method to that? What do you mean by that?
I don't want to play it safe. Like trying to control too much. Like I'm here to leave it all here. And
so whatever's thrown at you, you take it.
Yeah.
And that where in the past has it been different? Have you tried to like control every little thing and just?
Yeah.
And does that make you harder to race that way too? Because maybe you race a little into control. Because you're a conservative human, but you're also a conservative racer. You keep things pretty tight. Is this is a way to just try something different?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people kind of go about it the same way. I just think that it's a little not embarrassing, but you don't want to let people know what you struggle with. You don't want to, oh yeah, I struggle. I'm overthinking it. I'm doing this, and it's like, dude, we all face adversity. And
plus, if you're struggling with something, how does that really affect the other guy? They get their own issues. I've always wondered, this sport's so sneaky. If you come out and say what your problems are, admitting them, I think, is more powerful than hiding them. Just if I'm dealing with you as a competitor and you're up there admitting your issues, then I'm like, damn, this guy knows his problems. He's gonna fix them. Yeah. Instead of, ooh, I know where to get him, because, dude, everyone's worried about their own stuff. So it's almost a reverse way of showing power.
Yeah.
I'm willing to admit my faults.
I mean, now this is my 7th year racing Supercross, and just knowing how small everything is in the grand scheme of things, everybody knows everybody, and it's like, what's in it for me to try and keep quiet? It's like, dude, if I'm talking to one of my competitors that I'm good friends with, it's not like I'm trying to get the scoop on him, what he's struggling with, so I can work on it. It's like, dude, I'm struggling with this. This is going on, and it's like, we can talk as friends, and it's like, when we show up to race, it's let's race hard.
I could see if you were somewhere racing and it was one-on-one every week with a guy and it was just playing checkers, then you might not want to give it up. But when you're in the gate, dude, you're dealing with more than one guy. And everyone's dealing with everyone. It's too complicated to get that sneaky,
like,
you know?
In the past, Reed and Stewart or Reed and Carmichael, like playing cat and mouse. It's like, now
get it, right?
The level's too high. If you start doing that with anybody, somebody else is going to leave you guys.
Right.
So it's hard to just let it all go, but that's what you have to do. And when it comes time to race, everybody's going fast now. It's not like I'm going to outsmart this guy and get the win. It's like, no, you better outsmart him and go as fast as you can, because somebody else is going to be doing the same.
Right. So I look over and everybody's on their bikes getting ready, and you're over talking to me, and I feel like I want to let you get back to your thing. So
okay.
Enjoy press day. It's good to see you. When are you going to come on Race Day Live? Dude, your team is a pain in the ass about that.
Yeah?
They're hard, dude.
I don't know.
Can you just tell him like you want to talk to Dan? You got to talk to Daniel.
Maybe.
Okay, because Will Hahn, dude, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy, man. But anyways, have fun tonight. I'm excited for you. I like the reset, I like the change. And thanks for talking to me.
Yes, sir.
Later.
Thank you.
Main event moto.
Look good? Check. Protection? Check.
Fly Racing has had the gear game on lock for years, but the Formula helmet has taken Fly to another level. They didn't just make a high-quality helmet, they redefined the standard for the most important piece of safety equipment on a rider's body.
Use your head and protect your head. Run the Fly Formula helmet.
Then cover the rest of your body in Fly's Evolution and Kinetic gear lines.
Easy decision.
If you're a true Motohead, then motosport.com is your only choice when it comes to OEM or aftermarket parts for your bike. And when it comes to servicing your bike or giving it the punch you need to perform, it's EMT Racing. With motosport.com, you can get everything you need for your bike with great pricing and ridiculous speed on shipping. And with EMT, it's simple. Take your bike to the experts.
2020 is the year EMT takes over the performance world. If you don't know, now you know.
Your Bat Bros choose motosport.com and EMT Racing, and you should too. Motoheads, do you want to stand out on and off the track? Make sure to check out Viral Moto for your jersey lettering and apparel needs. That's viralmoto.com.
Because having a blank jersey is about as bad as Vincent's golf game.
And when it's time to get a screen printing project done for your business or personal use, you have one choice. It's screenprintingdone.com.
Neil is the man. You know those Main Event Moto sweatshirts you're wearing? Yeah, Neil at Screen Printing Done did those.
You know that sick new Viral Moto shirt you're wearing? Yeah, Neil did those too.
We like to look good. That's why we choose Viral Moto and ScreenPrintingDone.com.
All American Chevrolet in Killeen, Texas is a proud supporter of Main Event Moto and invites all the Moto heads to experience the difference for all of your Chevy sales and service needs. Mention Main Event Moto and get 50% off your next oil change and a front end alignment at no charge. Remember, whether you're hauling your bikes to the weekend track, trail, or race, or commuting to the job that pays for your moto habit, we have the truck to get you there in style. Visit us online anytime at ChevyKilleen.com. That's all American Chevrolet of Killeen. Chevy, find new roads.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
There he is, the hardest working man in Supercross. Actually, I don't know, Weege. I used to believe that, but you've been slacking, ditching West Coast races. Oh, I'm going to Oakland. Doesn't go. I'm going to San Diego. Doesn't go. I don't think you're the hardest working man in the sport anymore.
I got a much harder job. Playing with kids and hanging out with kids. And look,
and preparing for Stasic races.
Yeah, it's been nighttime training. There's a big rivalry. I used to be good friends with a rider named Justin Brayton. Used to be.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Well, his daughter will be competing in the Stasic race in Dallas next weekend, and so will my son. So it's over. It is over. It was nice knowing him.
If he teaches his daughter to ride like him in San Diego, El Hombre.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
I just mean in general, I'm dead.
No, I meant like if his daughter just T-bones your kid.
You know, maybe I'll have a little talking to at the AMA. I don't think that kind of riding's acceptable, to be honest.
Talk to Gallagher.
Yes. So what I was going to say is, look, I know you're a dad, and everyone on Earth wants to sound cool and nice and say, nothing's better than hanging out with my kids. Nothing's better than family time. Okay? Does anyone, I have a 5 and 9-year-old, does anyone say, you know, I'm going to find 2 random 5 and 9-year-olds, and I'm going to go play with them right now because that's so fun. In fact, you would go to jail for that. So that's the kind of sacrifice I'm putting in, okay?
All right. But you're here. You're back.
Yes.
And you and JT and Steve didn't do a 250 preview podcast.
No. So again, not hardworking.
Yeah. So do you care anymore or no?
Yeah, I'm a TV guy. We just mail it in. Isn't that what we do? Or do you actually work
something?
I'll take the water.
Meeting or what's going on?
I want to get him water. Okay, take our trash away. Lemon lime Gatorade. That's Jim Perry, team manager over here at Monster Energy Yamaha. See, I got a great office, don't I?
You do have a great office.
So I work not as hard as I used to. I care less, and I have more people catering to me. It's kind of how life goes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to preview this 250 since you guys are complete failures. You know, I love that review pod, and I love when there's a preview pod, but seeing as though you guys didn't do it, you didn't waste all your good stuff on Steve and JT.
That's right.
So you save it for me.
Yeah.
And for
we got to watch
the
Moto
heads. Yes,
so we have more info.
Let's just start with
let's just start with our favorite. Who's your favorite to win it all? And let's go season, not Tampa. Let's just go season because this is a season preview.
Yeah.
Who's your pick?
Well, there's a logical move you can always make, and your friend of mine, Ricky Carmichael, has a brilliant move to get out of any trouble in this situation, which is just always go with the defending champ. So I could be really safe. If I say just go with the champ, no one could possibly say you're being a moron, right? That's a safe bet.
It's the least likely to make you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, how could you say that?
Yeah.
Well, he won last year.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But I feel like, and I've been wrong 3 years in a row, one of these years I feel like Shane McElrath has to have his year, right?
Yeah.
So even though he's not the champ, he actually is like further along, more experienced than the actual champion.
Right. So do you kind of put it a toss-up between them two? Because they're my 1 and 2.
Well, I don't know.
And for
Jordan
me,
Smith, man.
I know Jordan too. We'll get to him, but
Yeah.
Shane is just polished.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been polished, but now he's on a team that's won so much. It just all seems right, and I don't see him being a guy like in the past where like he just blows it. He's got issues. Remember the one year it was a mechanical. Then it's just I never look at him as someone that's just going to throw it away. He doesn't throw things away, and just that team is so solid. So for me, he's my number 1, and Chase, being the defending champ, is my number 2. But to me, those two are really close, but you're saying it's more than just 2.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a little disrespectful to see Jordan Smith, who's been in this hunt several times, and just completely count him out of it. I bet you if he talked to the TLD guys that he and McElrath used to race for, I don't think they looked at a huge difference between the two of them.
No, they were both the number 1s on either coast, and they looked at them similar.
Right, so to say that there's a gap there,
and it's not like that team doesn't know how to win either. I mean,
right.
So right. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and then there's a whole lot of wild cards, and I think that's the most exciting part about it. We kind of have like these tiers of known commodities, and then a whole bunch of really hard to predict. Like, where are we with Jeremy Martin? What do you say?
Well, he left off 2018. He was crushing there, and then in my opinion, you look at him and you're thinking the injury is going to have to play a factor. But then the way he rode Monster Cup in Paris, that was right away. And it's like if he's okay then he's got to be okay now. My biggest worry with him is he's so passionate about righting the wrong in his career. Sometimes I feel like it's almost like too much, and I don't. You know what I mean? I feel like he's about to explode. And I don't know if you want to explode in this class, because one bad one, and now, especially with this many good guys, my biggest concern is too much passion from him. Is that fair?
That's a really good point, and it is odd that this guy has won the title that is more races twice.
Yeah. But he outmans them. You know what I mean? He reminds me of Eli in that way, where you can't grind with him for 24. Where Supercross isn't about the grind as much as it's about being a little tactical.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm a little nervous.
Shockingly inconsistent in for a variety of reasons. Oddly, he's a pretty good starter outdoors, and he's not a good starter in Supercross. I mean, you could speak to this more than me, but there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Not disc up dirt, maybe a metal start against a dirt start, although for a while they were both dirt. But for whatever reason, it seems like starts outdoors and Supercross have not been the same for him. If he can figure that out, that's a big part of all the chaos he's been stuck in, that he's often getting horrible starts in Supercross. But
and he's always in the mess.
Always in the mess.
That's where things happen.
But remember those couple of years where he would miss a main event? He'd ride an LCQ and then he would like lose his mind, panic under pressure.
Yeah.
And you're like, how is this 2-time national champ not able to handle the pressure of an LCQ? So that is, I don't think you're out of line to say that.
A lot of that came, I think, from too much passion indoors. He lets his heart carry him into bad situations sometimes. Where an outdoor, 35 minutes against Jeremy Martin outdoors, good luck.
Yeah.
But in a 15-minute little chaotic little arena, it gets the better of him, and that's my only concern with him. As far as pure speed, I think he's going to be great. Those bikes are better.
Yes. It's odd because I think because he's been so much better in motocross and supercross, it leads people to think he's not a good supercross rider. But on certain nights and certain practice sessions, he obviously can ride it. He rides really well. It's more of the 2 or 3 races, kind of like Eli, a year where you're like, what
was that?
Why he just crashed 3 times? Like, what's going on?
So for me, he's in the conversation. I have 5 that I would. put it this way, I wouldn't spend $1 that anybody other than these 5 guys have a chance. And then if that's rude, I'm sorry, but Shane, Chase, Jeremy, Jordan, and RJ.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Outside of those 5s, I'm sorry, but there's no chance to win the title, and I'll fight somebody if they want to argue. So with those 5, though, where do you put them right now going in 1 through 5? If you had to.
Yeah, I think we're going to sound pretty similar to this. I'm going to go McElrath 1.
Me too.
Sexton 2.
Me too.
Smith 3.
Me too.
RJ and Jeremy?
They're 4 and 5. Which one is yours?
It's funny because really, if you look at RJ's Supercross results, they haven't ever really been that good.
Well, other than the other 4, he hasn't won.
Yes.
They've won. He hasn't.
Yeah, and there's not even a ton of podiums, seconds. It's been rough.
A lot of flashy mess.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reason why I give him the nod is that program won the title back-to-back East Coast 17 and 18. He trains with the 450. He is literally on the Zach Osborne 250 program in every single way imaginable. Yes. And my thought is with that program, you can't not at least give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to be one of them, even without the results.
We've seen it happen over and over. I mean, I don't know if you could really say that Zach before that was way better than RJ has been in these previous years. Like, the jump he needs to make is maybe the same jump that Zach was like a 4th, 5th, 3rd-ish
and it was messy. It was messy.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he became a 1-2 guy instead of a 3-4 guy.
He turned into a rock, you know?
Yeah, so, no, you can't count on that, count him out. It is odd. So he told me in a podcast I did with him last week, RJ, that he blew his knee out in December, straight up torn ACL. He swears it doesn't mean anything. He's good. Now
I heard that too. I heard that too, and I have. And I'll say that so everyone doesn't freak out. There are multiple riders right now in the pits that don't have their ACLs, and it's fine. It's fine until it's not. So some guys can't do a lap. Yeah. Some guys can go 5 years. So before you freak out and think ACL is going to throw them out of there, it's definitely, it affects things. People win championships without their ACLs all the time. So don't freak out. But at the same time, that was a little kink in the chain there not that long ago, but he says I heard what he said. He says he's fine.
Yeah. So I'm glad you explained that other guys ride without it and it affects nothing. It doesn't mean he's just talking and there's no chance it's going to work. But that's a big jump that he's got to make to get to the guys that he's raced before. They finished ahead of him before.
Yeah.
But we keep being proven, doubt this Baker thing over and over and over, and you'll be proven wrong over and over and over.
All right, so outside of the top 5, I feel like a little kid Christmas Eve. Like, I can't wait for tomorrow to open the presents of this 250 East. Right?
Yeah.
Like that? That was slick, huh?
Yeah.
It is so all over the place, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Josh Hill's back. Jimmy D. Like 400 rookies that are all on factory teams.
Yep.
Even today, I was talking to Josh Hill, and he's like, dude, do not count out Enzo Lopes. You guys don't know what I've seen.
Lopes?
That's what he said, straight up.
Yeah.
And that's from Josh. So, I mean, where do we begin? Where do we start?
I got one to start with. So I checked in with the TLD team this week to ask about Pierce Brown, who's out.
It sucks.
It's not too bad. They thought that he broke his scapula because it was poking out. And it turns out there's like a nerve that holds it in place. It's back in. Everything's fine.
And that happened like the week before or 2 weeks before. It was it was like Christmas.
So he says he's been riding 2 or 3 weeks, but as a rookie, you want them to come in with the perfect amount of prep time. Don't throw caution to the wind.
And I talked to TK about that too, and he said the problem with Pierce is Pierce goes for it.
He won't.
And he said that they don't want him to go out here and go for it because he's not ready to go for it. So they want to give him a couple more weeks so that when he goes for it, he's good. Because he's not one to just let me get my feet wet. I think he's more of a Jet Lawrence where I'm going for it and he ain't ready straight up.
He has always been pitted against Swole, who will be making his debut here, and they have
Marchbanks too.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, Cowie likes to point this out. A lot of people are like, "Oh man, Marchbanks hasn't shown anything yet." He's the same age as these dudes.
Yeah,
he's already 2 years in.
He was a young rookie.
Right. So he might be better than people are thinking because he was just so young. Anyway, with Swole and Brown, if people don't know, it was always Swole was the consistent guy, Brown was the speed guy.
Yep.
He doesn't ride at 90%.
And when it works, it works. Remember that video, that GoPro video of him at Loretta?
Yeah.
Coming through the pack?
Yeah. He jumped over Swole's head one time.
No, it was like...
Yeah.
psychotic.
Yeah.
So I think, again, they're a little like, let's not let him go be that way until he gets a few more laps in.
Right. It makes sense. Brown, to me, rides kind of like it. You never watch Jason Anderson and don't think he's going fast.
Right.
He looks fast.
No matter what.
Some guys don't. That's not Pierce Brown. But here's the rookie to talk about. While I was checking in with the team about Brown, like, this Moreau kid has unbelievable skills and talent.
Yeah.
And I watched him today. He looked
How'd he look?
unreal good. Like, unreal good, uncorking one of the first to uncork some of the different rhythms. He could do it multiple ways. Now, we didn't have whoops today. We didn't use the sand.
Right.
No pressure.
It's no racing. It's just it's a display of talent.
Yes.
It's a talent exhibition out there.
But I'm a believer. I'm like, he does have it. Now, I don't know if this is all going to actually, the pieces come together. But I don't think anyone's even heard of this dude, so no one's talking about him. I'm telling you, he has skills.
When a lot of people are asking me, what do you think about that Monroe kid? I'm like, well, it's Moreau, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay,
you got
good.
it. I hope it's not some accent or something.
Jalik Swole had to put me in my place today. I did a Race Day Live interview with him, and I called him Jalik. And he's like, bro, it's Jalik. And I'm like, I'm sorry. He's like, I know, it's cool. I have to tell everybody. But I'm like, all right, well, I'm glad you told me now. Before on TV, I just call you the wrong name.
Hey, I got it wrong for about 8 years in his amateur days, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know all these rookies because you've seen them at Loretta's every summer. Is that ever weird for you when you see Jalik Swole and Brown and these kids, and all of a sudden they're out there thrashing Supercross because you know both worlds? But they were kids, and it's weird because those last couple of years they really grow up.
Yeah,
like they were on 80s a couple of years ago. Is that ever weird for you?
It's interesting in a couple ways because every amateur goes through just an age thing. They'll be like really fun to talk to and interview. Then they start getting like super like they get smart enough to actually be nervous. Then you lose them for several years. The amount of times that Kevin Kelly and I, who does DMXS, we announced Loretta's together, and he's like, dude, when this guy turns pro, it's going to be so fun having him in the ranks. I'm like, no, by then he's going to lock up. He's going to be so scared and nervous about everything. So they're really not 14-year-old amateur and then 17-year-old pro. It's like they're not even the same person at all.
So you watch it all, but then you almost forget because you're talking to a different face. All of a sudden they have like a little mustache coming in too. You're like, I don't even know this guy.
Yeah, it is totally different, and you're really to take what you see at Loretta's and try to translate that to Supercross. It works sometimes, but not always. I do say this is so weird to me. I swear Josh Hill, if we were just going by Loretta's, is like the greatest rider of all time. He won there a lot, but he looked so technical. But that's the way the Hills are, right?
Oh, they're filthy talent.
Yes. When you watch them ride,
him at the U.S. Open hammering the whoops on his 85.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that kid will never lose ever once.
Exactly. And Hill went out there today. Everyone's rolling the track like the first lap or two. No, he was charging. Like, I don't know where. Do you have any clue where we put Josh Hill in this mix? Like, he looks so good, but I don't know.
Well, the problem with Hill is that you're always wondering because you question the motivation, effort with them all the time. It's with both of them. So it's like when the going gets tough, how hard will he grind? On a pure talent spectrum, and the fact that I know their bikes are pretty good.
Yeah.
I could see him like top 3 in the heat tomorrow, and I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd be like, yep, Josh Hill. Or I could see in the main, like 10 minutes in, a little bobble, wash out, and then just go back to the... I don't know. And that's why I'm saying for fantasy, he's got to be like the worst thing ever for everybody.
He looked so fast today, but that's what I'm saying. That's like the Hill deal. Like seeing them look fast. We're used to that.
Sick.
Right. But will it actually come together? I think you're right. He's going to come over the head of steam. He told me he is grinding. He's not doing this for fun. He is serious. Yeah.
And he told me that. So he moved out there, and then they were like, he was riding out there. He didn't even know Club MX was near where he lived when he moved there. And he's like, I was riding out there, and they were just pushing me to like, you need a race. And he said they were pushing him to do it. And then finally he was like, I'm kind of getting in shape.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he said when he finally pulled the trigger to do it, like he's doing it. This isn't some publicity stunt. Like, he's actually working hard.
Right.
And he looks thin. He said he lost like 30 pounds. And I'm excited because I like watching him ride. Always have.
Yes.
Back in the day. And here's the crazy part. He did 250 class 13 years ago, 1 year.
Yes, he was. The Hills are always 450 guys, they say, yes.
Because they're so talented, they use power to their advantage. So he says it's been 13 years since he's raced a 250 indoor. That's a decade and a half, man.
I know.
And he's out there, just curly hair flying out of the back.
Dude, yeah, there's a lot of hair there. He would be 33 pounds if he would cut that. But he looked super fast today. He looked super serious. But we know with them that we don't know what that's going to turn into. But it is cool. Like between him and Moreau, even J-Mart to a lesser degree. I mean, we've seen guys have long layoffs and they come back and they can pretty much be back to who they are. But I like this level of unpredictability with some of these wild cards.
Yeah, and I like how everyone's story is weird. Okay, so Shane, new team, Yamaha.
Yeah.
Like seeing him on a Yamaha is weird looking at first.
Absolutely.
Seeing Jordan on a Cowie, weird looking. Jeremy's back from his injury, year and a half. It's weird looking to see him back.
Yeah.
RJ's new team. Everybody's weird looking except for Chase. He's the only one that looks like last year. He just got a 1 on there now. He's, in fact, I don't even know if this is possible, but is he taller?
I knew he got taller last year. Maybe he got taller
looked bigger
again.
to me again, and he said he's like 170 pounds.
Dude, he's jacked. Like, he has guns, dude.
I know.
He is jacked.
And you know what's weird, too, is watching them, their faces change as they get... He looks like a man now.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like a kid, like, a year ago.
No beard, though.
No, he
no
told me
beard
today.
game.
He told me he's all shaved up. But he's like turned into a man. And I even asked him, I said, so, dude, 450 class, coming, whatever. And he goes, I can't wait. And I've said this now for 2 years. That guy is built, not only size, but style-wise, to be a phenomenal 450 rider. He's
not a balls to the wall guy.
He's not. He don't hang it out. And in fact, I'm surprised he was as good as he was last year, because we know that Honda was a little off last year power wise.
Yep.
And he said this year's bike is unbelievably different. So again, my only concern with him is you can't say the fire's not there, but he's already got the next chapter of his life signed and sealed. And sometimes, like when you're Shane McElrath and it's like, I've got to win now, or I don't even have a 450 job next year, you ride with like this passion of, oh my God, where Chase is, his next 3 to 4 years are, he's good, you know. And it's not fair to say he's one of them, but anybody is that way. If you have a 4-year deal right now, are you as edgy as you are if you have no deal?
For sure, if you're Smith and McElrath specifically, you're in like year 4 of this is the year I've got to get it done.
You're like, the clock's ticking.
Yeah, and there isn't a pathway. Like, everyone is talking about how well Ferrandis is riding, and they're like, oh man, what's this Yamaha team over here going to do? No one's talking about room for Shane.
Yeah, where's he going to go?
Or Cowie, where you're talking about Forkner and Tomac and Steve Cerullo. Those guys have to earn it. I don't think you're going to have a drop-off in motivation from Sexton, but I can tell you this.
He's too young to milk it in, but you know what I mean. I'm talking that fiery edge where you're desperate. I don't think he's desperate.
No, that's for sure. But here's what I think the bigger difference is. This is weird. Talking to different riders, he won that title last year winning 1 race. Forkner got hurt. He races 2 years in the class, has 1 win. He has a 450 factory Honda ride already.
Yep.
I'm telling you. Yes. Yeah, immediately.
It's not like he has to even grind out the 250 summer.
Right. There are certain riders that I don't think are pumped on that. They wanted that. They're not getting that. And they want to beat him. So I don't know if it affects his motivation, but I swear to you, it does affect others.
And you want to know who it affects the most? His teammate. Jeremy Martin, we talked to them together today, sitting down, and Chase even said, last year I won the title, not really the way I would want to, like he admitted Austin whooped me 6 weeks straight, and this year I want to dominate. And Jeremy's sitting right there, and like the next answer from Jeremy was like, my whole plan of getting onto the factory 450 Honda team got taken from me, and I'm fired up to get that. I have to start all over. One guy's got it, and the other one wanted it. And I'm telling you right now, they're teammates, and they're all cool and cordial, but when it comes to push and shove, you're talking about the one guy that wants it the most is the guy sitting next to him.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when those 2 comments came out with them right next to each other, and I thought it was great. If they were 450 guys, last week we had Eli and Adam sit together, and you could tell that they would say, but they were dancing a little. These 2 didn't even care who was next. They were saying, I want to dominate. Yeah, I want to wax everybody. And I'm like, you do realize the guy next to you maybe is your biggest comp or one of them.
I don't think Martin, I don't mean this in a bad way. We see teammates play pretty well with each other most of the time. I don't think that's his MO. He doesn't like the riding with other people. He does it with Tomac, but what a coincidence.
Jeremy.
Yes, Jeremy. Sorry. I don't think Jeremy's ever been big on the riding with other people thing. Now, he does it with the Tomacs, who, what's their philosophy? They don't like it either. They're the only 2 that can exist.
He found the one guy who doesn't like to be with other people, and he's not in his class.
Exactly. And I don't think they'll be doing it together whenever they are in the same class. Jeremy's time at Star, that was not kumbaya with his teammate Cooper Webb or anyone.
Oh, I thought he was just pitting around the side on the back.
Oh, they didn't have room.
They didn't have room, and they needed shade, and he was their champion, but he had to go in the back.
I'm just saying that they won't douse those. Like, they're not going to try to tamp down that fire. If they're battling each other, they will want to beat each other. There's no love lost because they're teammates. I don't think that's the way Jeremy operates. There's other dudes, too. Like, Sexton got the golden ticket they all want, right?
Yeah.
He has a guaranteed 450 Honda ride.
And they're probably bitter because, I mean, it's not fair to say this, but fell into that title a little.
That's what I'm saying. You add
fell
it
into
all
that
up.
ride a little.
Yep.
Relationship with Adam and Kenny. There's a lot of, like...
Yes.
There's a lot of reasons why that all happened, and to your point,
yeah,
he got things that most people are scraping for, and he kind of had it given to him a little bit. It's not all the way fair, but it's true.
Look at Davalos. Davalos, anything that could have would fall out of it every year, half the time not even to his own being or his own doing, could never get a 450 ride. Look at how different the Sexton situation is. So I think there are just, in general, riders
they're literally
forcing
him. They're forcing him early. Like, not only are you going to get one, we're going to make you go early.
Right.
Everyone else is like, dude, what the hell?
So I think there's always a target on the guy with the number one plate to a degree, but I think it's a little larger. I don't think anyone in the West, for example, like, hates Ferrandis. Now, something happened with him and Craig. They're all cool now anyway. But I'm saying, like, coming into the season, I think people are like, I want to win the title, and I want to specifically
beat Dylan.
But I do think there are some guys that are measuring themselves by, I want to beat Sexton.
Right. And you got to think, too, two of them, well, Jeremy's one, but Jordan and Shane are the ones that their future is very unknown. And so they're probably... Yeah, Chase has got a lot of people targeting him.
Yes, yeah, it's like a must.
And when I say target, not like in a dirty way, but in a like a,
I must win this title.
I gotta wax him every chance I get.
Yeah. Now I have heard from the Geico people that it's not going to be easy because apparently Sexton is truly flying at the test track. He's been identified as a flying at the test track guy this year, so he's going to be ready.
I don't know. He's a borderline perfect rider the way he rides.
Yeah.
Back to the rookies. So Swole, Moreau, Shimoda.
Yeah.
That's its own little weird little battle too. And the weird part is they all three don't have crazy history together because Shimoda, he kind of stayed back. I mean, him and Swole don't have this long rivalry. Whatever.
No, I feel like Swole mostly was like a year ahead-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Moreau has nothing to do with any of them. So there's like this little rookie rivalry between three guys that don't really have a rivalry, but on paper, you want to be the best rookie or do you want to be the third best? I mean, there's a lot riding on how those three do in their own little battle.
I shouldn't take this call, right?
No, it's Wes Kane.
Wes Kane. I should not take a Wes Kane call.
No, not right now.
No. Yeah, it is interesting. You really can't figure out who would be a favorite out of them because they've never ridden against each other. Shimoda, I think, is definitely considered a more technical guy. Maybe you're not going to see it early. Like, give him time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Whereas we were saying, like, the Pierce Brown thing would be like, if he were here this weekend.
He's going for the dub.
Yeah, he wants his number on the board immediately. But Shimoda's a good rider. I don't think he was high profile.
He reminds me of Purcell, the way he rides.
That's upset,
soft with his body and technical and does everything clean, and you don't think he's trying, but he is. He's just that clean.
Yep.
And then Swole's the one I know the least about because his program's pretty private. He's not down in SoCal. I know like barely anything about him, other than his name is Jalik.
Like, you learn that from the Tim Ferry program.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how well he adapts to Supercross. I just happened to be out at the Husky track pretty early in the season, and he was still getting his feet wet, still learning whoops and things like that. And he's kind of a smaller guy, so I think that I don't think that matters in the long run. But when you're first learning whoops, it would probably help. So I'm curious. I'll see how well it translates. I think him and Shimoda, again, are guys like you cannot judge them too early. They're more of a long build process.
Right.
Of those guys.
I don't know their contracts. I think Shimoda has another year, so he's safe. I talk about all the time how these poor rookies, sometimes they get a 1-year deal and they got to prove it or they're out.
It's crazy.
And it's either you don't sign the guy or you give him 3. You know what I mean? And I don't know Swoles if he's on the Bailey program where it's like better prove it, because if that's the case, that's gonna be rough. Moreau's is a 2-year deal. I know that for sure.
Oh, okay.
So he's safe.
Yeah.
And Shimoda's safe too. And I always look at that stuff with a rookie because it's like, how quickly do you have to transition and get this right?
Yeah.
Like, do you have to right away, or can you just get into this thing because you know you're good, and then next year you'll be fine? You know?
Right. It is a tricky one, but I think we see results on the outside. I think the teams know things internally, like, does this kid want it? Is he putting in the work and all this stuff? I think if you put in the effort and they like you and they believe in your potential and it's not just a results thing, you're good. So I think there are ways to keep the ride. There are also ways to blow it.
If you're working your ass off and you're grinding and they know that he don't have it yet, but he'll get it.
Right.
We'll give it another shot. But if you're not getting the results and then you got a little attitude or you look like you're slacking, then it's like, I agree. Gonna figure this out. So.
I agree. So I think there's a little more leverage or longevity in there if you want it than it might look.
All right, last question.
Yeah.
Podium, 250 this weekend.
Can I get a little crazy on it? Can I get a little crazy?
You can do whatever you want.
If Jeremy effing Martin comes out and does it.
Is that your pick?
Yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to say coming in, unbelievable house of fire, steam, adrenaline, whatever you want to call it.
So that passion's going to work this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work every time, but he is going to be bubbling over with adrenaline.
Okay.
Yeah.
J Mart 1, who 2?
Let's get this going. Let's say put Sexton right behind him.
Okay.
And stoke these flames a little
like
bit.
Me, dude. I'm like my wife when she watches Real Housewives. That's why I'm a Supercross. Like, I want them to fight and throw salad at each other. And all right, so I like what you're going there. So Chase second, then who third?
Shane. Yeah. Shane. Here we go. Yep.
I'm gonna go the exact reverse order. Those are my 3. And Jordan is the one that scares me because I think he could do it too.
Oh yeah.
And I think RJ being closer here has a shot at it too. But I'm gonna go Shane, Chase, Jeremy.
Okay.
All right.
This is exciting. All good.
Glad you're working again. Glad you're back at the races.
I'm editing videos.
Giving a damn about the sport. I appreciate it.
It's just for the paycheck.
Thank you guys so much for listening to episode 154. Huge shout out, of course, to Fly Racing, Mika Metals, Scott USA, Guts Racing, and No Toil. I really appreciate what you guys have done for us through the years and continuing in 2020. And of course, All American Chevy of Killeen, ScreenPrintingDone.com, Motosport.com, EMT Racing, DRS Suspension with Racetech, and my buddies at Viral Moto, Old Me Creations, and Law Tigers. Thank you guys again so much, and we'll be back with a regular show next week from the Bat Cave. Thank y'all.
Main event motor. Screw it. You know it by now.